Hello friends, welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Stacy. I am going to do a quick video just to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about me, a little bit about what I'm doing here, what I'm sharing, what this channel is all about. So it's been a little while since I have done a video. I've been a little bit absent. I've got some new tools that I am using, and so bear with me. I'm excited about this, but I'm going to share some pictures and some different stuff, and hopefully I have got this figured out. It's a little bit weird because I've got some different cameras and screens and stuff. I'm not really sure where I should be looking, but hopefully it looks like I'm looking in the right place. So anyway, like I said, my name is Stacy. I live in Iowa. I hate living here, not gonna lie. Sometimes it's beautiful and wonderful, but most of the time the weather can just be horrendous. In the winter time, it is freezing cold. I mean, so I've got this picture to share here just to show you. This is me in the winter time, just to go outside, because a lot of times it feels like it is like negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and it is miserable. So, you know, winters are rough here. And I have to say that lately, I feel like spring, summer, and fall can be rough too. We've had a lot of really strange weather over the last few years. We had a derecho come through a few years ago, which what I learned is basically like a land hurricane. And it is just horrendous winds. And we didn't really have damage to our house during that, but we ended up having no electricity or water for 9 days. Miserable. It was miserable. And then we got through that. And then we ended up having this horrible hailstorm that completely destroyed houses. And so this is what it did to our house. As you can see, it destroyed the siding in our entire house. It broke our glass door. It broke our windows. Destroyed our roof. We basically got a brand new house out of that. I mean, we had to have the entire outside of the house redone. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of a nice thing, but it was pretty scary when all of that happened. I'm not going to lie. It was very scary. So I will say that I'm just, you know, I was born and raised here. Don't really like living here, but I'm here for probably for the rest of my life. So just dealing with the weather. The other thing about me is I'm a Pisces. Let's see, I have a tattoo, a Pisces tattoo, which is kind of funny because my last name is Hauser. And so the Pisces symbol kind of looks like an H. So I don't know, kind of interesting. But anyway, I'm a Pisces. I am an introvert. And, you know, I never realized that I was an introvert until just, I don't know, it's been a few years ago. I started reading about things and understanding myself a lot better. It's not that I don't like to be around people. I love to be around people, but it's more that I just need some time alone to decompress. Like I can't be with a lot of people a lot, like a long period of time, like day after day. I just need my space. And I don't do well with sudden plan changes either. I've learned that too. So anyway, if any of that sounds familiar to you, maybe you're an introvert too. You should read up on it. All right, the next thing about me is I am a wife, and I'm just going to show you this handsome, handsome man. I am super, super lucky to be married to this man. He is my best friend. He is the most wonderful person I know. Center of my world, this guy right here. And he is my biggest support person. I think in anything that you do, you just have to find someone who just supports you. And I'm pretty lucky. I'm very, very lucky. The next thing about me is I am an animal lover. I am such an animal lover, and I am a dog mom at heart. And if you have been around for a while watching my channel, then you have seen this guy right here. This is Oakley. He's a Great Dane. Love this guy so much. Love him so much. I am a dog mom at heart, but I am not currently a dog mom. We had to say goodbye to Oakley. Yeah, miss him so much. And then there were a couple others before Oakley. We had Kale and we had Magic, and then we had Oakley. And so not, needless to say, we were heartbroken with losing all three of our big, gentle giants. And after Oakley, we were just so devastated that we decided that we are done. So we currently don't have a dog. Every time I see a dog anywhere, I just want to love it and love it and love it and cuddle it. I miss these guys a lot, but it's hard. It is hard for those of you who are animal lovers and you have had to say goodbye to a fur baby. You understand how hard it is and how heartbreaking it is, and we're just not ready to do it again. Not to say that we won't ever do it, but not right now. And I mean, we still have people that reach out to us all the time wanting us to adopt Danes, and I appreciate that, but we're done. Our hearts can't take it anymore. Okay, enough about the sad stuff. I do not want to cry during this video, this introduction video. So anyway, enough about that. So the next thing about me is that I am a nurse. Here's my nursing picture from many years ago. So before I became a nurse, I went to school to become an X-ray tech. So I am an X-ray tech in addition to being a nurse. Then I went back to school and got my nursing license. Went through the whole step-by-step thing, the licensed practical nurse, and then I became a registered nurse. And then I went back and got my bachelor's of science in nursing, all the stuff. And so I do currently work as a nurse. And that kind of leads me into kind of my whole purpose for sharing this journey with everyone the way that I do. I have to just say that a lot of people believe that doctors and nurses know everything there is to know about fitness and nutrition. And that is not true. That is not true. I'm telling you, nurses and doctors struggle with this stuff just like anybody else. And just because I am a nurse, that does not mean that I have had any kind of special training or education in fitness or nutrition. Same for doctors. I've heard across the board that, it's just very minimal training in school when it comes to fitness and nutrition. And so, as a nurse, I struggled with my own health journey because I didn't really know all that much about fitness and nutrition either. I knew I wanted to live a healthy lifestyle, but I did not have a clue how to start. And so that is kind of what this Fit Life journey is all about. I have, I call it Fit Life Secrets, the secrets to living a fit and healthy lifestyle. But it has been a learning process for me. And so I do a lot of reading, a lot of research. I read books, I watch videos, I listen to podcasts. I do all the things to educate myself about fitness and nutrition. And so I am not sharing any of this stuff to say that I am an expert or that I'm giving any kind of medical advice or anything like that. I am just sharing my journey to just tell you what I have experienced, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what I have learned along the way. And so that's kind of leading into my part of the video where I want to talk about what you can expect to see on this channel and, why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm sharing every little thing, about my fitness and nutrition and health journey and all of that stuff. I've had a lot of struggles over the years. And, as a nurse, you get used to taking care of people when they're sick. And, it just makes you feel like, oh, I just wish that I could help people before they get to this level. Like, just help people to take care of themselves and be healthy and not get sick. Wouldn't that be great? That would be ideal, right? So I had a lot of struggles, ups and downs with my own journey. And it was in 2015 when I finally was like, I am committed to figuring this out. I am committed to living a healthy lifestyle, focusing on nutrition and exercise. At that time, I had just turned 40 and I was miserable. Like, I'm going to show you. This was when I started. I was overweight. I was unhappy. I felt miserable. I was just like tired all the time. I had no energy. I didn't want to go anywhere. Didn't want to leave the house because I was overweight and I did not feel comfortable in my clothes. Like, they just didn't fit. Like, I just felt embarrassed and uncomfortable and unhappy. And, my being an introvert kind of contributed to the fact that I just wanted to stay at home. I didn't want to go anywhere. I just wanted to stay in my house where nobody could see me. And, I finally was like, you know what? I'm only 40 years old. And if you do the math, you will figure out that. So that was in 2015. So I just turned 50 as I'm recording this video. 10 years later, I am 50, and I can tell you that I feel so much better in my skin than I did when I was 40 in this picture, because I have just learned a lot, made a lot of changes in my lifestyle, and it's made a big difference. So I'm not going to say it was easy. This was a really, really tough journey. Lots and lots of learning about a lot of things. So this was when I first started. And I'm going to say that, after that, I kind of had a bit of a roller coaster. And then I lost some weight, gained some weight. You know how it goes. Then I ended up like this. This was the heaviest weight I had ever been. And this I was so unhappy, so frustrated, so miserable. Like, again, I didn't want to leave my house. I just I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of hated myself at that point. I was like, I am just so unhappy. I didn't feel good. It's not even about just the weight. I mean, it is a little bit because you like to feel comfortable in your clothes and feel good about yourself, but it was more about the things that were going on inside of my body. I have a thyroid disorder. I have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. I have reflux. I just have like things that I just wasn't feeling good, and nothing I could do would make me feel better. But I figured things out. It's been quite a journey, and I still have some struggles that I'm going through. But eventually I ended up getting to the point where I was feeling pretty good. I lost the weight, was exercising, built some muscle, was had trimmed down, and so all of the hard work really paid off, and I was just feeling really happy with my results. But I'm not going to lie, I was still, even though I was building muscle and losing fat and doing all of that stuff, I still didn't feel my best. I was still just really tired, just exhausted and run down all the time, just no energy. A lot of that probably related to my thyroid disorder. A lot of the things with feeling not great related to all of my gut issues, like my IBS and all of that stuff. Just wasn't really feeling. So the fitness and nutrition program that I was following at the time, had lots of workouts that I was doing, which was great. And then the eating plan was really focused on lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of like grains and like whole grains and stuff like that, like brown rice and whole wheat breads and pastas and stuff like that. And it was healthy, supposed to be healthy. It was a healthy way of eating. It was a clean way of eating. I was eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, lots of grains, and I felt miserable. Like I still, a lot of times didn't want to leave the house because of all of my gut issues. Like if you've dealt with gut issues or things like IBS or any other kind of, issues, it's like so frustrating. You really have to plan and prepare yourself. And I mean, leaving the house to go to events and stuff, it was just, anyway, I just still wasn't feeling my best. And what I noticed was with the nutrition program that I was following, they had like within the plan, there was like these little like 5-day, 7-day, I don't know how to, like eating plans, like little, trying to think how to say it. Like if you want to drop weight fast for a special event, then you could do these little 5 to 7 day eating plans that they had. And you know what those plans were? They were basically protein and vegetables. It would be like, hey, if you've got like a vacation coming up and you want to drop a few pounds, do this. Or if you have a wedding coming up, do this, or whatever. Like if you want to feel good and drop some of your weight, then do this plan. So I was finding that I was doing those little plans quite often because I would feel so much better when I was doing them. And what I realized was that those little 5 to 7 day plans, they cut out carbs. they cut out like all of the grains, all of the carbs. And so basically it would consist of like eating protein, eating like low carb, low starch vegetables, and including healthy fats like things like olive oil and stuff like that. And so I started to think, there's something to this. Like every time I do one of these little plans, I feel my best. So that led me into in 2019. So I started this journey in 2015, and then it wasn't until 2019 when I thought, maybe there's something to this keto thing, because every time I do this little plan that has, cuts out the carbs and focuses just on protein and fat and low carb vegetables, I always feel so much better. So, not gonna lie, I'm one of those people who used to think that the keto diet was this crazy, insane fad diet, that it was unhealthy, all the stuff. Anything you have ever thought about the keto diet, believe me, I have thought the same. I used to think it was just crazy, crazy, insane. And then I started reading books. I started watching videos, listening to podcasts. I started doing all the research, reading articles, all the stuff, educating myself about keto. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to give this a try, because everything that I have read about it is that it's like probably one of the healthiest ways you could possibly want to eat. It is, especially if you do like clean keto without doing all of the processed stuff. Like if you're just sticking with, your protein, your fats, and your low carb vegetables. So 2019, I jumped into keto, and I was feeling a lot better, but I wasn't feeling my best as far as my IBS, because I was still eating a lot of vegetables, and I did not realize at that time that the vegetables were not agreeing with me. I was just eating all the vegetables. Like the worst thing for me that I know now was cauliflower. I love cauliflower. And like there's all these keto recipes that you can find that you use cauliflower, like all these keto recipes. And so I was making all of these keto recipes with cauliflower and broccoli and all the, vegetables that I didn't know were not good for my IBS. I didn't realize that. So anyway, I'm doing keto, going along. I'm like, yeah, this is good. It's good. I'm feeling okay, but still having issues. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Well, anyway, so I could ramble on about this forever, but long story short, through my keto journey, I started joining some different Facebook groups for keto and stuff, and there were people talking about doing an egg fast. And I was like, well, I love eggs. So I'm like, I'm game. I'll do an egg fast. And so what I learned was that it's basically just eating eggs and fat for like 3 to 5 days. You eat eggs and fat. It's supposed to help you if you're in a stall or something, like a weight loss stall, or if you had a carb day and you're trying to recover from a carb day, it helps you get back into ketosis and all that stuff. And so I started doing egg fasting, like, I don't know, probably like every week I would do like maybe 3 to 5 days of an egg fast because I felt so much better. I had no belly issues, no bloating, no I would feel so good when I was just eating eggs and fat. Like, it was just crazy. And so then said something about it in one of the Facebook groups, and someone's like, well, they have a beef and butter fast that you can do too. And I was like, okay, well, tell me about that. And so I joined a group for the beef and butter fasting. And so I made this comment in the group one day that I was like, gosh, I wish that I could just eat this way all the time, because I feel my best when I'm eating just beef, eggs, butter. That is when I finally had figured out how to feel so good. Like, I felt so good. Like, my belly issues were like non-existent. I just felt amazing. And I said something about that in the group, and someone said, well, why don't you just do the carnivore diet? And I'm like, I have never heard of the carnivore diet. I have no idea what you're talking about. Basically, so, you've got keto, which is like, meat, eggs, chicken, fish, like seafood, all the proteins, eggs, and then you can have dairy. Like, you got to, like with keto, you got to keep an eye on, your carb count, because you got to keep your carbs low enough to get your body to burn fat. So that's a discussion for a whole nother video. But anyway, you can have vegetables, you can have some berries in moderation, and you can have nuts and seeds on keto. Carnivore is basically keto without the vegetables, berries, nuts, and seeds. Carnivore is basically just the meat, the eggs, the dairy, like anything that comes from an animal. So for a while there, I was really just very, very close to being full carnivore, other than having my coffee, having some stevia in my electrolytes, having some sauces here and there, and every once in a while some dill pickles. I mean, other than those things, like, I was pretty close to just being carnivore. And so that's kind of what a lot of people call ketovore, because it's a combination between the two. So anyway, that was like in, 2019, I started keto. 2021 is when I discovered the whole carnivore diet. I had never heard of it before. I didn't even know it was a thing. And so I started the carnivore diet. And pretty much since then, since 2021, I have pretty much been following a ketovore eating plan. Up until just recently, I started kind of incorporating more vegetables just to see what I can tolerate, really focusing on like low FODMAP vegetables that are, supposed to be friendly for your IBS and easy to digest. Still no cauliflower, no, I can't touch it. Every time I try to touch cauliflower, I regret it so bad. Same with onions. Anyway, there's some vegetables that I absolutely cannot have. There's some that I'm finding I can tolerate just fine. Cucumbers, I'm obsessed with cucumbers right now. But I'm just pretty much just focused on keto now. And so anyway, I have all kinds of like different conversations that I could have about what I just told you because there's so many different pieces to all of that that I could explain, but I am not going to go into all of the details in this video. That would make for a very long video for real. So that just kind of gives you an overview of, just kind of the things that I'm sharing right now. I really, really just want to encourage people to make healthy decisions, eat the right foods, exercise. And honestly, I mean, I don't like to exercise. I try to incorporate exercise into my routine as many days as I can in a week. I'm not a fan of exercise, but I know it's important for a healthy body. However, I also believe and have learned that what you eat is so much more important than exercise. Not saying exercise is not important. It is. It is. Do not misunderstand me. I think everybody should exercise, but I think the priority should be cleaning up what you're eating, eating the right foods, giving up the sugar, giving up the processed junk food, and just focusing on clean, whole, real foods, the foods that we were intended to eat, the foods that our body wants. And so that's kind of my goal for this channel, just for sharing. A lot of people are like, why do you always share in your food and your workouts? And like, it's just weird. But I like to share what I'm doing and what I'm learning and what's working for me and what's not working for me because I'm hoping it's going to help someone. I'm hoping it'll help someone out there. I'm hoping that me sharing my journey is going to motivate someone out there to change something, just change one habit or just do something to try to just live a little bit healthier lifestyle. So if you are at all curious about, how things are going with my journey, please follow along. My goal right now is I'm trying to lose my last like 10, 15 pounds. And I'm not going to lie, it's been a roller coaster trying to figure out, do you do high protein and low fat? Do you do less protein, high fat? I've been kind of playing around with that a little bit, just kind of adjusting my macros, trying to figure out what works best for me. So I'm going to be sharing some things with that. So I have, I share a lot on Instagram. I share on Facebook. The YouTube channel is going to be my primary place for sharing. So, I would love, love, love if you would just hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. I am just focused on really sharing my journey here on YouTube. I am still going to be sharing some other places, just probably not as much. I am on, as you can see, here's all of my things here. I'm trying to figure out how to get this so you can see it the best. So I've got my YouTube, I've got a Facebook page, my Instagram, Snapchat. I'm on TikTok. I have not been really that active on TikTok, but I do have a TikTok. And then Linktree, this is kind of a website where it has all of my favorite things. Like, so it has a shop on there where I save like all of like my favorite foods and my favorite snacks and my favorite supplements and clothes and workout stuff. Like all of my favorite stuff is on my Linktree. And then, and I will drop these links down below in the comments just so that you can, you have a clickable link. And then this is my website, stacyhauser.life. I will say I've got a few links on there I need to correct because they're not working currently, but I'm going to get those fixed up. So anyway, those are all of the places that you can find me. You can follow me on any of those. But like I said, YouTube is going to be where I'm going to be sharing my journey the most. So just go to YouTube at Stacy Hauser, hit subscribe. And anyway, that's it. That's me. That's my Fit Life journey. That's what my channel is all about. And I hope to see you in the next video.